Thank you for joining me on this episode of The Shortcut Podcast, a show about the long and short of the filmmaking process. Joining me on this episode is Connie Jo Sechrist, an experienced producer, director, and actor with credits on more than 70 short films and features, as well as several awards and an Emmy nomination. Connie joins us in the Filmmakers Lounge at the San Jose International Short Film Festival to speak with us about her work, which includes a strong passion for raising awareness about mental health issues. While wildly different in genre, both of her films playing in this festival address the toll aging takes on us both as individuals and together as a community, and I highly recommend giving them a watch. I do want to mention that as we are in the lounge, you will hear the sounds of other filmmakers and guests chatting in the background, and you may hear the occasional roar of an engine driving by outside. So I hope it doesn't interrupt your listening experience too much. And with that, please enjoy the show. Welcome back to another episode of our podcast. I am your host, Christopher Denise, and with me today is the lovely Connie Jo Sechrist. Connie.
Thank you. Thanks.
Tell me a little bit about yourself as a filmmaker. What do you have playing in the festival?
Well, that's two questions, but I'm mainly a producer, but I do acting and directing and writing, and I'm just, multi-passionate. But
that's question one. Perfect. Thank you for clarifying that. Question two. You have more than one film playing in this festival.
Yes. I have two films that I produced that are in the festival. One is called Severio, and the other one is called The Clock, and they are two very different genre films. So.
With two different directors, two different ADs, two different crews,
yes,
all of that.
Yes,
yeah. Okay.
Yes. But both of them were filmed in the Bay Area.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
I actually didn't quite realize that.
Yeah.
So let's jump right in. Let's talk a little bit about you as a filmmaker first. How long before I overly get into the numbers, you've been doing this a long time. You are a very experienced filmmaker.
Yeah.
How many films have you done that have been in this film festival?
In this film festival alone, I probably have done anywhere between 7 to 10.
Wow. Okay.
I don't know. I have to go back and check.
So you've got the experience to get your films into a world-class short film festival.
Yes. I feel like, all the films that I've done, I feel like every single film I do gets a little bit better and better and better because I learn new things as I'm going along. But I've been lucky and fortunate to, I was born and raised in San Jose. This is actually my hometown festival.
Woo!
I've known Bill and Sinoy for a really long time. But, I still need to go through the typical screening process with them. I've just been very fortunate that a lot of my films have gotten in, and some of my films haven't gotten in, to be honest. But that's just how it works.
Awesome. But, let's talk about The Clock for a moment.
Okay.
I just watched The Clock. This is like the most recent one I watched. It was an hour ago. It was what was the name of that film block? It was like
The Unknown Universe or something
The Unknown Universe.
Yeah.
Very avant-garde films about very abstract ideas.
Yes.
Very, very cool. So you had two, what I would call premium actors in that film, CCH Pounder and Sean Wallace.
Wallace Shawn.
Wallace Shawn.
Yeah.
As everyone else will know him as Inconceivable.
Yes, in A Princess Bride.
And I'm sure he has been living with that for many, many years.
Yes.
But what was it like getting two A-list actors on board?
It was an amazing experience. We were doing the production during the actors' strike, so we did have some kind of leeway, I would say, because a lot of the actors weren't doing any work. Getting a feature film off the ground during that time is very, very hard. You had to go through a lot of paperwork and red tape with SAG in order to get your feature greenlit. And so a lot of actors were kind of like, what am I going to do during this time? And short films was something that they could do very easily. And we just decided, let's just reach out. Let's reach out to people and see who we can get, because it doesn't hurt to just ask.
Right.
I mean, you're either going to get a no or you're not going to get an answer at all, and then you just go down your list and you go to the next person. I mean, that's pretty much what I have to do as a producer every single day. I have to reach out. I have to try to ask. Ask. And if I don't get an answer, then I move on. But yeah, it was amazing. When we first got CCH Pounder on board, I was like, oh, wow. Oh, okay. Like, we have a film here.
She's a big name.
This is big. We need to do something. And we wanted to cast Elle first. We wanted the role of Elle, which is what Cici played. We wanted to cast her first, and then attach like Harold, which is her counterpart role, to the film, because we wanted to make sure that we're kind of getting actors that are going to mesh well with each other, have that chemistry with each other.
Yeah.
And we were talking with our casting director. Me and the director and our casting director were talking, and we kind of just joked around and was like, we should try to find like a sweet old man like Wallace Shawn. And my casting director's like, well, we can reach out to Wallace Shawn. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. And luckily, Wallace actually saw a film that CCH Pounder was just in and loved her and was like, I want to work with her.
That's awesome.
And he read the script, and Wallace did, during his interview, we did some behind the scenes interviews, but he did mention that he's never had like a romantic.
Yeah, you mentioned he's never had
role. Well, he's had romantic roles, but he's never had like a. I'm a spoiler. He's never had a kiss scene. He's never had a kiss scene before.
Which is big, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the fact that CCH was on board, he was like, I really want to work with her, so he was on board.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Were there any? I know we're I apologize. We're slightly rushed for time as we're closing up and going to the next block after this. But were there any challenges that really stood out in the process working with A-listers? Or was it working with the director, working with the challenges of the scene itself?
I would say that's a loaded question. There's a lot in that. I would say working with A-list actors or actors to that caliber, especially in that age range.
Yeah.
The biggest challenge was making sure that they feel comfortable.
Okay.
And taken care of,
yeah.
Right? So we were filming in this little tiny house in Alameda, and there was like 3 rooms upstairs, and there was the main living room that we filmed in. And so I was like, okay, make sure that they have their own room, they have their own space. My second AD, Scott, was amazing with the actors, and he was just like getting them coffee, checking in with them every once in a while, making sure that they have what they need, essentially.
Yeah.
Making them feel welcome and comfortable, because it's just like, this is very much an indie set, and Cece has never worked on a short film before.
Really? I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, this is like one of her first short films. So, it was just making sure that they're comfortable and that they're taken care of.
Yeah.
So we had someone pick them up every morning from their hotel, drive them to set, drive them back. We made sure that they were fed well, and just kind of just
keep them like in the zone, basically, so they can really provide the performance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just feel welcomed, on set.
Awesome.
Other challenges were we lost our location like a week before.
Welcome to short filmmaking.
For production, and I had to spend my Christmas, looking for a new location.
That's a lot.
Which was a lot, but I feel like this new location actually worked out much, much better because we had more.
It had a lot of texture and grit, right? There was
yeah. The other location that we had was more of a work in project location where it's like they were building their house, so it was more run down.
Yeah.
But the problem with that is that like we would have to bring in our own generators and electricity. We would have to bring in our own bathroom.
Yeah.
And I just don't feel like it would have been as comfortable
for
our lead actors.
Well, from what I saw, the location you ended up with fit the theme and the tone of the film.
Well, we did do a lot with that location.
Okay.
So the walls of the location were originally white, and we put wallpaper on all of the walls, and made it look, the way it is. I mean, the production design was very heavy with this, and I think that was a different, thing that I haven't done. It was heavy production design.
Yeah. Wow. So, I mean, I had no idea. Honestly, you can't tell. It's very seamless.
Yeah,
so.
We had a whole day where we just pre-lit and we did production design on the film.
And I'm gonna guess that the rain sounds and the a lot of the sound that went into that was not actually there.
So we did not have rain for most of the shot, but when Wallace is in his car outside, that was actually real rain. We actually got the storm came in at the perfect moment when we needed it. It's funny. I've worked on films where, the weather does not work with you at all. It's supposed to be a sunny day and then it turns into rain, but you just have to go with it. You have to work with it. And luckily the rain came at the perfect time that we needed it to come, and we got our shot.
Awesome.
So.
Well, let's jump over real quick to your second film, Severio, which also was filmed up here in the Bay Area and with mostly Bay Area crew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Both films had Bay Area crew.
Okay. So that was a very different style. That was comedy. I think there's a level of tongue in cheek to what's going on in that.
Yeah.
But also a very, I think, emotionally touching film as well, right?
Yeah. It has some emotionally driven elements to it, but in a very comedic way, I would say. And the ending really, really gets you.
We won't spoil it. But what drew you to that script and that project?
I think just the story itself is really touching. I'm like, do I want to get personal here?
Yeah, please, if you can.
Yeah, I can. I just don't want to cry. It's, the story is about an elderly man who gets abandoned.
Yeah.
And it's about this thing called granny dumping, where people that can't take care of their relatives kind of abandon them. And it's really, really sad. And in a way, I've kind of not necessarily been through that, but like my dad was in hospice, for several times, and even Ellen, the director, was going through, issues with her dad being in hospice, and it's really hard to deal with that situation.
I feel like from my background and my understanding of the world and how this has a place in it, I think we all deal with, as people get older, your parents can potentially become a burden. When I say burden, they can seem to be a burden, right? These people that took care of you, that give you everything, and then there's that drifting period in your maybe 30s or 40s, and then they turn around and all of a sudden they need your help. And I can understand that I feel like this really addresses, even though not most of us have dealt with elder abandonment, we've dealt with maybe that frustration with like, I got to take care of my parents now. I've got to deal with something for this elderly person here. And I think that there was a metaphor there, a very strong one. So
yeah. And it's hard. It's hard on the families. It's hard on the caregiver themselves, and it's emotional, to go through. So, I would never abandon my elders or anything like that, but that's how mentally hard it is.
Yeah.
For some people, they just can't deal with it. So the only thing they can think of is just
let's get rid of this thing that I can't
get rid of it. Which is not of course the right thing to do.
Right.
But families that live in poverty neighborhoods, they have no other choice. They can't afford healthcare. They can't afford to do it. So it's sad. It's really sad. that happened. So I didn't even know that this even existed until I read Ellen's script and talked to her about it. And I was like, oh, I had no idea.
Well, it's an important
That-
thing that, I think stuff like this, I've seen several of your films before. A lot of them have a level of PSA to them, right?
Yeah.
Public service announcement, something that maybe you don't know about, maybe you haven't heard of. And if you have, maybe just something to bring attention to it. So hey, I'll say I really appreciate that you guys do that. It's a big theme with a lot of the work that you do.
I'm a big advocate for mental health.
Yeah.
So anything that has that theme related into it, I'm all for it.
Awesome. Well, I know we're short on time, but let's talk very briefly about your future as a filmmaker. What is coming up next?
Coming up for me personally, I'm going to be diving into the director's seat again.
Awesome.
I am working on a short sci-fi film that I'll be doing at the end of the year. And then I have a bigger feature sci-fi that I am going to be directing and producing, hopefully filming in San Jose.
Awesome. I did hear you tell me a little earlier that you may be cannibalizing your own living room for a little bit to make some of this happen.
Yes. So for the short film, I'm filming in about a month, and I did book a studio that had a spaceship built already, like a cockpit for a spaceship built.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, due to the rain that recently happened in Los Angeles, the studio roof collapsed.
Yeah.
And ruined this lovely lady's production set. Like,
yeah,
it's devastating.
Catastrophic. Yeah.
But I was like, oh, great. And then I looked around to try to find other locations, and most of the other locations are like just double or triple the price. And I'm just like, I just can't do it. I'm trying to make good material with like little resources, and I'm a starving artist. I work from paycheck to paycheck, so it's like I can't really do that. So yeah, me and my boyfriend Scott, who wrote the script, we're just looking around in our living room, and we're like, we have space. Let's just build a spaceship in our apartment and do it.
Let's just build a spaceship.
Let's just do it. So I actually think it's a really cool idea, and we might document it as well and kind of release like a little documentary with the film.
Yeah.
Of how we made a spaceship and a
sci-fi
film in our apartment.
I really like when people do both of those things together.
Yeah.
I think we talked a little bit about, but like the behind the scenes gives you this like experience of what if, and then you get to see the actual final product, all of the film magic and everything that goes into it. So I'm actually really looking forward to, personally, both of them, but especially the PT.
Well, I hope to be back on your podcast next year with that film.
That would be fantastic. I'm knowing what I know from you, there's a pretty decent chance it'll end up in this film festival. So yeah.
Yeah, I'll just twist, C-Noise in Bill's arm, being like, you better fucking play this, or, oh, I don't know if I could swear, but.
You can swear on this podcast. There's only adults listening, except for all the kids, but I'm so sorry about that. Well, cool. I know we are probably running a little past our time here, and we're very gracious hosts here. But last bit is, what's up in the future? I mean, we talked about the future. What's up in the future for you, but what's in the future for filmmaking in general? What do you see over the next, what do you see this industry doing over the next few years?
I don't fucking know. I'm sorry. This industry is very changeable. Like it changes constantly. There's new things that happen. I mean, with the technology of AI, I have no idea where filmmaking is going. I personally don't approve AI in film or in art or anything like that. Yeah. I feel like AI is never going to interpret the human emotion ever.
I agree.
And it's already eliminating jobs in the industry, which is really pissing me off. But I just don't know. I think for me as an artist, I just want to keep on creating art authentically.
Okay.
With human beings.
Which I think we appreciate. And I think human beings appreciate that.
Right. I just want to keep creating. I want to keep, making films that, touch people's souls and just try to make a difference in the world through storytelling. That's what I do best.
Try to make a difference in the world through storytelling. Yeah. I think that is the most memorable quote from our podcast today. I will leave it at that. And That's very hopeful. It's very positive, and I look forward to seeing your next few works.
Thank you, Chris.
Connie, thank you so much for joining us today. Audience, I hope you had a good time. We will be back with another one very shortly, and keep making films.
Bye.
This has been another episode of The Shortcut Podcast. If you're listening early enough, you can find Connie's films, The Clock and Severio, playing on the festival circuit. And if it's been a while since you tuned in, you may instead be looking for the sci-fi feature film Connie mentions in her chat with me today. I'd like to thank Bill Hargreaves and Sinoi Hinojosa, the founders of San Jose International Short Film Festival, for providing us with the opportunity to bring you these episodes. And I'd like to thank you, the audience, for tuning in. My name is Christopher Lee Denise. You can find me on Instagram and other social media as @LocalCinematic, on YouTube as The Local Cinematic, and in real life, wherever great films are being screened. Thanks again for listening, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.